Welcome to the single most stressful place on Earth.
It isn't a war zone or a bomb disposal unit. It is the produce aisle of your local supermarket on a Tuesday.
In your left hand, the standard apple.
It is shiny, perfect, and costs about 50 cents, but the internet screams that it is actually a toxic chemical sponge.
Hold the apple up to the light like a skull.
In your right hand, the organic apple, which is smaller, lumpier, and costs 3 times as much.
Buying the cheap one makes you feel like a monster who is actively poisoning your family with invisible pesticides.
But buying the expensive one feels like you are being scammed by a marketing team that weaponizes your anxiety.
So, which apple kills you faster?
The noise is deafening, with influencers claiming conventional fruit causes everything from brain fog to spontaneous combustion.
I decided I was done with the grocery store panic attacks and needed to see what was actually inside these foods. I wanted to know if that little green sticker is a shield against cancer or just a tax on your fear.
Let's look at the evidence.
First, I had to hunt down the chemical boogeyman.
The biggest selling point of organic food is a single, powerful promise: purity.
We buy organic because we believe conventional farming is essentially a scene from a post-apocalyptic sci-fi movie. We assume organic means the farmer just sings to the kale until it grows, with 0 chemicals involved. I checked the USDA regulations, and that is a total lie.
Organic does not mean pesticide-free. It just means the pesticides must be derived from natural sources.
And this is where our brains fail the logic test, because we have this Disney view of nature, where natural equals safe and gentle. But let's look at reality. Snake venom is natural. Botulism is natural.
I dug into the approved substance list for organic farming and found things like copper sulfate and pyrethrins.
These are potent chemicals designed to kill things, and just because they come from a chrysanthemum flower doesn't mean they want to be your friend.
So, organic uses pesticides. But what about the synthetic stuff on the cheap apples?
This is where the fear-mongering industry makes its money.
You see terrifying lists like the Dirty Dozen, warning you that strawberries are coated in toxic residue.
The narrative is that eating a non-organic grape is the biological equivalent of drinking a cocktail of bleach and battery acid.
So I looked at the toxicology reports, and the ambulance test here is hilarious.
To get a clinically dangerous dose of the pesticides found on standard apples, a fully grown adult would have to eat roughly 800 apples.
In one sitting. You managed to eat 800 apples in an hour. The pesticide isn't going to kill you.
The fear of residue is mathematically illiterate. We are stressing over a drop of water in an Olympic swimming pool.
So, if the chemical threat is largely a ghost story, surely the extra money is paying for superpowered nutrition, right?
Let's analyze the vitamins.
Now we arrive at the billion-dollar question.
If the pesticide risk is a ghost story, surely the extra cash we are burning at the checkout counter is buying us superpowered nutrition.
We assume that an organic apple is basically the Captain America of fruit, bursting with vitamins, vibrating with life force, and ready to punch diseases in the face.
Meanwhile, we view the conventional apple as a sad, watery husk that's just going through the motions.
I wanted to validate this. I wanted to believe that my expensive grocery bill was actually an investment in a superhuman body.
So I dug into the Stanford University mega study.
This was a massive investigation, a meta-analysis reviewing over 200 separate studies comparing organic and conventional foods. I expected to see a bar graph where the organic bar was towering over the conventional bar like a skyscraper next to a shed. But when you look at the data, the difference isn't a skyscraper, it isn't even a shed. It is a rounding error.
Wait, scratch that.
We've analyzed the vectors and the trajectory is clear. We are headed for a major downturn.
The researchers found that for the vast majority of nutrients, vitamin C, calcium, iron, the levels were statistically indistinguishable.
Let me put this in perspective. Paying triple the price for an organic broccoli crown to get more vitamins is like paying triple for a car because it has 3 extra drops of gas in the tank. Whoa! Welcome to the single most stressful place on Earth. You aren't buying a nutritional upgrade, and you are buying the exact same biological machine with a slightly different sticker. But wait, there is one tiny exception. Some studies did show that organic crops can have slightly higher levels of certain antioxidants, specifically polyphenols. The pro-organic marketing teams love this. They scream, "See! Higher antioxidants!"
But here is the hilarious, slightly dark reason why.
Conventional crops are pampered. They have pesticides to fight their battles for them, so they grow up lazy and relaxed. Organic crops are constantly under siege. Bugs are trying to eat them. Fungus is trying to rot them. Weeds are choking them out.
To survive this thunderdome of nature, the plant has to produce its own chemical weapons to fight back.
Those chemicals are the antioxidants. You aren't eating healthier food, you are eating a plant that was stressed out of its mind. You are consuming the vegetable equivalent of war paint and adrenaline. But even then, the boost is marginal. You would get more antioxidants just by eating 1 extra bite of the cheap spinach.
And this leads to the most dangerous trap of all, the health halo.
We have become so obsessed with the organic label that we have let it drift onto things that have no business being healthy.
You can buy organic cookies, organic soda, and organic potato chips.
We look at a box of sugar-filled crackers, see the word organic, and our brain tricks us into thinking it's health food.
It isn't.
Organic cane sugar is still sugar. It will still spike your insulin, rot your teeth, and wreck your metabolism just as efficiently as the cheap stuff.
So if the nutrients are the same, what is the final verdict?
Here is the only medical truth that matters.
The biggest danger to your health isn't the microscopic trace of pesticide on the apple skin. The danger is not eating the apple.
We have terrified ourselves into a corner where we treat the conventional produce aisle like a minefield.
So people skip the toxic conventional salad and eat a frozen pizza instead, because at least the pizza feels safe.
That logic is fatal. The statistical risk of dying from heart disease or diabetes because you didn't eat enough fiber and plants is a tidal wave.
The risk of being harmed by a conventional grape is a single drop of water in that tidal wave.
The simple truth is boring, cheap, and incredibly liberating.
Just buy the vegetables.
Buy the cheap ones. Buy the ugly ones. Buy the frozen ones.
Take them home and wash them under plain tap water for 30 seconds, with a little bit of friction.
The water is running, but watch what happens when I scrub the surface. The contaminants are lifting right before our eyes. Incredible.
That mechanical rubbing removes the vast majority of whatever residue might be there. You don't need a $20 organic fruit wash. You just need hands and water.
Do not let the perfect be the enemy of the good.
A conventional apple a day will actually keep the doctor away. An organic apple a day does the exact same thing. It just keeps your wallet empty.